Alright, all my faithful followers, I come back to you with peace. Now, last time I was talking about Twilight, I made a few mistakes. Now, I will correct them in this episode in which I will criticize the first novel on which the first film is based, Twilight, released in 2005. This is extremely interesting. Now, we were wondering who the main audience was for this for this novel, and we thought it was like 12-year-old girls. It turns out it's aimed at young adults, okay? Shit, bullshit for young adults, okay? That's what Stephanie Meyer said. You know, come on, she's one twisted lady. She has a 17-year-old girl, Isabella, who falls in love with a dude who I believe he was born in like 1908. He hasn't aged a single year from then, and so it's basically this extremely old male dating this chick many times younger than him. That's sick, man. That guy's a perv. Okay, so basically it's an old douchebag wearing young guy skin. All right, but that's not the point. Now, Stephanie Meyer should have gotten her first bell, her first whistle that her stuff sucked when 14 agents rejected her story. Okay, 14 agents said that's bullcrap. Bring any bells? I mean, good stories. Like take Tom Clancy. I mean, I respect that man. I don't believe that any of his stories got that much rejections. I don't think he even got one rejection. Anyway, it was originally released in 2005. The second one, incidentally, was released a year later. You know, bullcrap never takes that long to invent, so it just took her about a year to write it. Now, another interesting fact about Twilight is that it has sold, to date, 17 million copies. I had never imagined that there was so much retards in the world. 17 million assholes bought that book. 17 million. It's a large number, you know? You know the saying, don't underestimate stupid people in large numbers? Well, that is a lot of stupid people right there. 17 million of them. Now, oh yeah, and another thing, it has also been translated into 37 languages. Retards speak all languages, man. It has even been translated into Arabic. You would not think an Arab would read Twilight, but hey, they do. Alright, so now let's go for the plot line. So, one little thing that's worth mentioning before, Bella moves over to Forks, Washington, where the whole story takes place, is that her mom is traveling with her new husband, who is a baseball player. Now, what is messed up here? What is baseball? The word should not even be in anything related to vampires. Baseball and vampires, I mean, I understand this is not about a baseball player, but it was mentioned in the movie. That does not make sense. That is messed up. And, you know, one thing that proves that it's messed up, she claims she got the idea for it in a dream, which turned out to be chapter 13 of her first novel later on. You know, some lady sees a retarded, messed up dream, and she writes a book on it, and a bunch of kids, fall for it. Alright, now, here's the very funny thing here. So, we all know that Bella goes to this class, and incidentally in the class of biology, she meets up with this douchebag Edward. At first, he's, like, disgusted by her, then he comes back, and he's all warmed up towards her, he's all like, chick, you hot, I like your blood, it smells so good, and at first I was repulsed because your blood tasted good. I mean, if something smells good, like, imagine you're sitting by a lot of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it smells good. Do you feel repulsed by it, or do you feel, I want to eat this thing right now? He feels repulsed, and then later he says he didn't feel repulsed, it's just that her blood was extremely desirable to him. Anyway, he returns, they have a little bit of a thing going on, and then he saves her life. She's driving like 100 miles per hour on a dirt bike, and he stops a van, like, with his bare hands, okay? And the funny thing is, he continues going to school with her. He continues going to school! He just stopped the freaking van. There's, like, so much witnesses. Who the hell are you? And he keeps on going to school. That is messed up. Usually people disappear after that. Here's the most messed up thing here. So, Bella tries to find out who the hell this douchebag is. I mean, well, he stopped the van with his hand, and she starts pestering the young douchebag with questions and all. And then she tricks another vampire, who happens to be the douchebag Jacob, the gayer. He's not gayer than Edward, but he's gay. Anyway, she tricks him, an old vampire, into telling her a young 17-year-old tribal legends, through which she figured out who the hell Edward was. Okay? Now, then she figures out that Edward's family drinks animal blood rather than human. That's just their way of life. They're like the good kind of vampires. And then he confesses to her, I originally avoided you because your blood tasted good. I mean, it smelled desirable. So he feels repulsed because her blood smells desirable. Repulsed at what? His desirableness? I mean, there's so much red flags here. And then, funnier thing is, after he confesses that her blood smells desirable to him, her reaction is, they fall in love. Hey, chick, man, your blood smells so good, I just want to drink it all up. Okay, sweet, let's be boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm sure nothing will happen. Yeah, right. Okay, and then, closer to the end of the movie, this douchebag, well, actually, I respect him. He's probably the only guy that would have done some good if they would have let him. This vampire dude named James, he's a tracker vampire. He was sent in because another vampire, big gangsta collection of vampires, gets into Forks, and they call him James, which is sort of like a vampire version of an assassin, and he is supposed to kill, I believe, or hunt Bella, okay? And the funny thing is, this is another stupid thing, the vampires, Edward, sends Bella back to her hometown, Phoenix, to hide in a motel. Now, if you were an assassin, what would be the first place you would look for your victim? In her hometown? Right. Okay, hometown. Now, another funny thing here is that, oh yeah, he should have killed her. He should have really killed her. But because he didn't, the movie went on. Now, Edward at the last moment saves her, kills him, and fortunately, James bites her, and then unfortunately Edward sucks the venom out, so she doesn't turn into a vampire. And the funny thing is that Bella actually expresses her desire to become a vampire. But Edward says, hell no, girl. Okay, so you want to live by her and smell her tasty blood? I mean, come on, if you're in love with the chick, don't you kind of want to get rid of that part where the girl is like, food to you? I mean, come on. You're walking around a girl who you can technically eat and drink her blood, and instead of getting rid of that little nuance and letting her turn into a vampire, you're like, nah, you're good, I like smelling your blood, it's cool. Oh, another thing about the apple, Stephanie Meyer said that the apple represents the forbidden fruit from the Bible, so she's technically making, she's putting, like, the love between Edward and Bella as something forbidden, expressed by this apple. And So basically, it's a story about wrong values, and if you look at one of the next books, the apple suddenly blossoms into a flower. Now bad becomes good. And on another note, I believe it was the Daily Telegraph, when they had the review of the book, they said that the book over-relies on adjectives and adverbs to bolster dialogue. You can obviously tell that Stephanie Meyer had literally almost nothing to talk about, so she just filled it in with all sorts of adjectives and English crap. Anyway, that's my beef on Twilight. I'll get back to you on the next book in a few minutes. Oh, and also, if you don't subscribe, I will hunt you down. Oh, I will hunt you down. You'll all die. Subscribe right now. See that button right there? Yeah, that one. Press on it.